Hello, magical beings and beautiful souls. And today, on full moon in Leo and Uranus going into direct on Saturday, and Pluto that has entered into the Aquarius part of the sky. This is a doozy. So I'm sure that you guys are all feeling it. Mars is around, Mercury is around. There's a lots of action happening right now in the cosmos. I have been today thinking of consciousness and all the people that I meet that have this ultimate goal in their health and wellness journey to raise their level of consciousness, to transform, to have that permanent transformational energy. And today I wanted to mention a few kind of technical details to you guys about consciousness, how to actually achieve that transformational energy, how this really works in the mechanics of energetics, which really most people never think about it, that there is a very specific order of business when it comes to the energies as well. And there's a certain particular mechanical, technical way how you can operate energies in your biofield and achieve that higher level of consciousness, achieve the permanent transformation in your life, however that looks, whether you want a complete overhaul, whether you just want to have a new career, and or whether you have got other personal issues to resolve and you don't know how to go about it, and you're working on these matters in your life, then I want to bring your attention to a few things. Okay. Firstly of all, I wanted to talk to you guys and open this whole conversation with Kundalini energy. And once again, I am Orshi. If you've never been to my channel, then welcome. And if you have been following my work, then welcome back. And let's just rock this forward. So Kundalini, what does that mean? Kunda actually is a vessel. Lini is light. So Kundalini is light in the vessel. It is in this subtle energetic space. It's this subtle energetic location that, imagine, runs along your spine, and it's going to be carrying ether energy. People ask me about ether. Check into some of my previous videos. I can link a couple here for you, but you could just browse at your convenience and actually check out more of my content either here on YouTube or hop on over to my Facebook page, and there you can actually also read further content and other content I don't post here on YouTube about ether energy or space and how does that work. It's kind of like the fifth element, by the way, which actually is another thing that I'm going to do a video about coming up soon, as it's already on my list. Okay, so Kundalini energy is basically ether energetics. It's basically that fifth element. How do you lift that up? So I want you guys to remember about the serpents. If you ever remember that the symbolism of the serpents, they actually represent the fire and the water lines, the two main nadis that are running along in your subtle energetic space. Kind of imagine it like right along and around the spine. The fire line represents the masculine energies. The fire line represents the sun. The fire line represents the go and get it targeted energy of our biofield, our masculine energetics. And the feminine energetics lie with the moon on the left side, and also it is your water line. Water is recipient, water is a medium, water is gentle, water is the nurturing energy, while the other line, the fire line, is the make it happen, solar plexus, fiery energetics that actually we associate with the masculine energetics, as I have said. So what happens is that most of us, and I want to say to you guys, all of us have mother wounds and father wounds. So what you need to understand, that if you want to do healing of any kind, of any problem you want to heal in your biofield, in your psyche, in your mind, then you need to worry about your fire line and your water line first. You need to fix the mother wound and the father wound. You need to worry about those two, because when those two are having a good energetic flow, then they're going to initiate the Kundalini energy, which what I want to tell you is that Kundalini energy is often described as a coiled serpent at the base of your rectum or at the base of the spine that lies dormant. So what that represents really is that when Kundalini energy is really awakened, then a person frees themselves from limitations, from lying dormant at the bottom, if that makes sense. As in Vedic stories, the serpents or the snakes are also demons that represent time and desire. We'll talk about those in a separate video once again, as you'll have a very different understanding of time and desire once we have that different perspective. Anyhow, so awareness could be a very double-edged sword, as in on one side a person sees more once the Kundalini energy rises, but on the other hand a person also may not like what they see all of a sudden, as they need to depart from old stories that they hold on to, old paradigms, maybe old acquaintances, friends, projects, things, jobs, places that no longer serve us. So once we have that Kundalini energy rising, that it also means that the light, the Lini, is rising in this kunda, in this container, and that's gonna bring brightness, understanding, a different way of seeing things, a higher level of understanding, a higher level of consciousness. So that once you're achieving that, then you can achieve more permanent transformation that actually is permanent, transformation that you are able to hold that frequency and that energy about. So Dr. Teresa Bullard, who is a quantum physicist, PhD, and I follow her work, and I am an absolute avid student of her teachings, she says accessing more of our multidimensionality requires you tuning into higher frequencies. So our minds are quite powerful, but do you know how to adjust your dial by shifting consciousness so that you can actually use clear intention to manifest? So think about that. That's so powerful that we need that higher frequency in order to access multidimensionality. I can assure you from personal experience that this is very, very true. So I want to also say to you that if any of you are suffering from any mental conditions, mental diseases, mental anything, then you need to remember that this disturbances in the flow of prana energy going through your biofield or your system affect how the mind functions. So if your mind functioning is not harmonious, that simply means that you've got disturbances in the flow of prana. And then I have a lot of questions when people ask me what prana is. Well, prana is ki, prana is chi, prana is life force energy, right? That's what Reiki is, life force energy. That's exactly what we're dealing with here, and we need to learn how to actually raise our level of frequency in order to be able to reach these multidimensional fields, these different perspectives directives, or also we call them energetic portals. I hope that this makes sense to you guys so far, as I found that this is so important, because also what you can learn if you really start digging into quantum physics is that Kundalini energy cannot be forced. And this would be really the last really major thought that I'd like to leave you with today, where you need to understand a little bit about that Adam and Eve story and the apple, And so basically what happened is that the apple represents the ultimate knowledge, the Kundalini energy, the nectar, the amrit, the honey of life, that blissful energetics that you cannot just take that. You need to grow to it. You cannot skip steps, okay? I do understand that there are many different ways and modalities that we start dabbling into as we start feeling that there's something more out there, that we want to kind of have some sort of a spiritual growth journey going on, that we want to get to another place somehow with our lives, or we're just feeling that something is not jiving or not harmonious in our life, and we initiate this journey, this process. And in this process we grab onto these different tools, and there are beautiful tools. There's crystals that have got their energetics. I also did a video on that you can check out, as well as some content on my Facebook page. Once again, why crystals and gemstones are such a value and why they are powerful indeed, that they're not just woo-woo stuff like some people actually think. They've got really major energetic value. Or divination tools, whether you use your pendulum, whether you use beautiful oracle or tarot. I never knew I've got psychic skills or abilities, but it turned out that actually I do have them, and guess what, so do you. But you just have got to raise your level of frequency, and once again, this needs to be done from many different directions. I, for one, here at my spiritual space and Ayurvedic, healing hub, and at my Wellness Wave Creations business, I really truly believe in cultivating frequency in an organic, biologically sourced way. I do recognize amazingly progressive technologies as well, and I do use some technologies, but primarily, if I had to make a decision, really, I am always drawn back to biologically sourced energy. So I'd rather make sure that I do the organic food. And that's another thing that I'm going to talk to you guys about, even though many of my videos I mentioned about this before, but I still want to say to you guys one more time that it is not the issue whether you are a vegetarian or a vegan, or you do keto, or you eat a meat or not. It is really not the major consideration here. Honestly, the major consideration is, where do you source what you eat? Is it local? Is it seasonal? Why? Because of the frequency level, the antioxidant value, the alkalinity of fruits and vegetables all lie that pH connects directly to the electrical charge that they carry, which also means that they've got antioxidant value, says Dr. Jerry Tennant, who's got a great book. I recommend it for you guys. I don't have it here at hand, but is Healing is Voltage. And in that book, he very clearly explains all of these correlations. I just basically wanted to really bring your attention to the fact that if you are interested in growing spiritually, if obviously you understand that you're a spirit being, light being, having a human experience, you want to know how to have this harmonious living in this vessel, because we're still living here So we need to still operate the vessel. We still need to honor it. Then you need to know that even in Ayurvedic medicine, the ancient rishis understood that the only way that people would focus on spiritual work or their spirituality and raising their consciousness and their awareness and mindfulness and all these amazing words is if their body and their mind are operating in a harmonious way. If the body or the mind are not in a harmonious works with one another, then you've got issues, disease, ailments, pains. When we've got aches and pains and problems, and we are not able to actually focus on that spiritual growth journey. So that's why we always need to start, Ayurvedic medicine realizes, with body-mind harmonization first. And when body-mind harmonization happens, all at the same time you're going to be worrying or focusing on your energetic lines, the two main nadis, as I said, your water line and fire line, your feminine side, your masculine side, and you're going to start the healing journey from that standpoint. And then you're also going to understand one more major principle. It is that you cannot go up without going down first. I'm going to say this to you guys again because I see many people who don't have this trait, okay? You cannot go up without going down first. You need to establish foundation. You're establishing roots. You need to be grounded, or you're going to be a kite without a string, or you're going to be unstable, destabilized, especially with all these new energetics I have mentioned here at the beginning of my video. There's a lot of light energetics coming in. There's the photonic light belt. We were bombarded with M-class flares so strong. I even personally can tell you how I have actually been almost for a moment got destabilized the other day, just as that evening that Pluto entered into Aquarius, because Aquarius is going to bring a lot of the mind, a lot of the air energies. So also remember one more thing: mental problems, mental diseases, mental issues all mean that you've got disturbances in the flow of your prana. Anyways, if you've got more questions, you know where to find me. wellnesswavecreations@gmail.com. Send me an email. Go on to my website, wellnesswavecreations.com. So it's all the same name, Wellness Wave Creations on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can find my handles. It's all out there. And I hope that you connect soon, and I'll see you on the next one, where I'm going to come up with some other cool topic that connects to all of this beautiful energy, frequency, water, consciousness, awareness, and primarily always everything, and all my work is centered around frequency. So I am Orshi, and thank you for being here, and namaste. Much love, and see you soon on the next one. Bye-bye.